Way back this summer, I told you guys I was going to train to run a half marathon. Well, the time has finally come. All I can say is Daddy's home. Okay, I know I was feeling myself on that intro and it was very cringy, but enjoy the vlog. What's going on, people? Spencer here, and that is zoomed too far in. We're about to head out to the airport. We're going to Mesa, Arizona for this half marathon race. It is in 2 days. I am very nervous, but this is the whole experience of the race. So hopefully we can run a good time. In the Uber. We're headed to Arizona.
AZ!
We're accidentally matching. Well, not really, but Wazell gang. Again, first ever male-sponsored athlete by Wazell. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Not everyone thought that he could achieve it, but he's done it.
Yeah, it's not that big of a contract. It's just $3 million a year.
$3 million plus a sweatshirt.
Plus a sweatshirt. So I gotta get food because I'm gonna die.
They made me check my bag.
Brutal.
It was chonky. In their defense, it was a chonk. About to burst open.
Goat alert. Allie met a fan.
Hello, I work for Goo. So I'm meeting Allie. This is amazing.
How you feeling?
Good to see you all back here. We're in Arizona now. Sunny, Lake Palm Springs. Gonna have some tomorrow.
Let's go. And finish line, what's the beer of choice gonna be?
Corona?
Oh.
I'm not drinking anything unless it's a Corona. Shout out to Dom, my boy Toretto. You know, live my life a quarter mile at a time. Do that for 13 miles tomorrow.
Oh, yeah!
Okay, so my strides are finished up. We're gonna pick up our bibs in a couple hours, but as far as the strides went, I felt pretty good on them relative to how I've been feeling the last couple days. So seems like the body is coming around just in time. One more day would be great. I'm just nervous, man. I have no clue what I can do. All of a sudden, all of the doubt is kicking in. Like, how the hell am I supposed to run low 5-minute miles for a half marathon? You just gotta trust that you can do it, and that's that. We're about to go to bed. It's like 8:30 right now, so yeah, going to bed early because we have to get up at 3:15 in the morning. Any words before the race?
Can't go to bed quite yet. Gotta watch Love Island first.
Gotta watch an episode of Love Island.
Nothing else in the world could calm me down the way Love Island can.
Love Island saves us both, so we're gonna watch some Love Island and then we'll see you guys in the morning.
I'm also vlogging, so we got an Inception.
Got some maple syrup right here. We're gonna put this on this.
No! You ruined it.
And we're having some waffles. These are actually pretty tasty. So we're here with Ryan Cox. What are you having for breakfast today before the race?
Got some rice, bell peppers, some chicken, an egg we're about to grab.
Bold call. I respect it though. It's 4:30. I'm still feeling just tired as shit, but getting there.
Oh, it's hard to get in here. Oh, the hardest part of the day is over. You got in the car.
All right, we've got a situation here. We're in like an hour line of traffic, so Allie and I are gonna get out of the car.
Oh my gosh, we should have left like an hour earlier. It's actually crazy.
All right. Starting the warm-up. finally the race has begun, and it immediately went out pretty hot because it's a little bit flat and downhill for the first long stretch, and I let this first group go because I forced myself to not go out too fast. That was my main thing. Do not go out too fast. I put a governor on my pace and said I am not going to allow myself to go out faster than 5 minutes, even though it was a little bit downhill on the first mile, just because I wanted to make sure I would have energy later on in the race. So here we are already coming up on mile 1. So we came through in 5:03, which was absolutely perfect. But I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video while we grind out mile 2. People, I am very excited right now because I just got a new order of my favorite socks out there, Bombas. So I'm going to open these up and tell you guys a little bit about Bombas. Oh, I am so excited to have more Bombas socks. I literally have a pair on right now. Bombas is the most comfortable socks in the history of feet. I'm trying out this really long pair of Bombas socks as well. Let's take a look how they look. So yeah, these are Bombas' compression socks that I've got. Absolutely love them. So while I'm grinding out 90-mile weeks, doing big time training volume, I love wearing Bombas socks because they're super comfortable, super breathable as well, which is really important to note. But obviously my favorite part about working with Bombas is their one purchased, one donated policy, meaning every time you purchase a pair of socks, they donate a pair of socks. Also, I have more exciting news about Bombas. They now do international shipping. So if you haven't been able to get a pair in the past, you now probably will be able to because they ship to over 200 countries out there. So seriously, thank you Bombas so much for supporting me as an athlete and a creator. So if you are interested in Bombas, head to bombas.com/theathletespecial and use code theathletespecial to get 20% off of your first order. So we're going to continue zooming along here on mile 2. These 3 athletes also started to bridge the gap between us and the guys way up front. And again, I just held it down and said, no, I am not going to officially go with these guys. But let's take a look at this water station fail I'm about to do. No. 0 for 3. So yes, I dropped a couple water cups, which was something I have to clearly work on in the future, but we are coming up to mile 2 right now, and again, I was feeling pretty under control at this point, so we ended up hitting it in another 5:03, so perfect. But at the same time, I was a little bit concerned at this point because I was like, damn, we have to run 11 more miles, which is crazy. And, you know, I didn't feel amazing at this point. So I was just hoping that everything would hold together and feel normal. And as you can see, the sun is beginning to come up, which is really cool. An experience I've not had much of in the past. So I really enjoyed that. And I also enjoyed the fact that we're basically running on like a freeway right now, just all out there on our own running. But we came up to mile 3 in a 5:07, so we did slow it down a little bit on it, but it was still under control. And we were just looking at these 3 guys in front of us. So for reference, we're in about 15th place right now. And at this point, we're like, all right, we just can't get passed by anyone else. And we're going to slowly start to reel in the boys once they start to get tired. Because me and these 2 other guys, we were feeling solid and we were clicking off, working together, just grinding out low 5s. Here we are coming up on mile 4, which we clicked off in a 5:06. So another solid mile. And, you know, my friend said, you know, just be under control through the first 5 miles, and then after that, then you can try to figure out what you want to do. So that was sort of the mindset here. But again, 9 miles to go is still a long way, so I was slightly concerned that there was going to be a point when the legs got tired and I started to breathe too heavy. But as of now, breathing was under control, everything was under control, and we were having a blast. I also cannot emphasize enough how much easier this course was than that really hilly 10-mile race I did, and I'm just so happy I did that 10-mile race because it prepared me for something that's just a lot easier, honestly, on the legs. So after doing that, it made this race feel a lot easier. But mile 5, we came through with another 5:06, so we were just clicking things off. And you know what? We hit mile 5 and we said, let's press it a little bit, boys. Let's go a little bit quicker now. And a cool experience I had with racing my first half is that you just randomly become boys with the people you're racing with. So these 2 awesome guys I'm with right here ended up running with me for the majority of this race, and we just were working together the whole time. So first, we reeled this guy in right here, and then we saw more runners in the distance, so we wanted to catch up to them as well. But unfortunately, my camera was starting to get close to dying. That's why the data goes off right here. It only has a few minutes left before it's going to turn off. Luckily, we got some footage later on in the race, but at this point, we actually started to reel in my fellow YouTuber Adam Wood. He makes some awesome content as well, but yes, we started to catch up to him as well, and me and my two boys were just cranking. We were like, you know what, let's start pressing even lower 5 minutes and just try to pick people off, because this is when the race gets fun. And honestly, I felt better and better as we started to pass people, and I was just having an absolute blast.
Let's go, boys. Lovely stuff. Your camera's not on.
So there's a gap in footage until the finish line, but I'll do my best to tell you guys what happened. So mile 7, we clicked off another 5:01, and it was still just me and these two guys with me. And then mile 8, a 5:03. And at this point I was like, you know what, we have 5 miles to go. There's not much left in this race, and I really am not feeling bad at all. So I was super excited. So then on mile 9, we ran another 5:01, and we started to catch up to even more runners and passed them as well. Then mile 10 was a 5:02, and I got to the front of our pack, and I was just thinking to myself, I feel completely fine. I feel like I could run an all-out 5K right now, which was an absolutely out-of-body experience. I couldn't believe that I felt this good. So on mile 11, I just pressed it and ran a 4:54, and I still wasn't feeling that bad, and I was still passing runners. So then on mile 12, I ripped it even harder to a 4:51, and I was like, I literally only have 1 mile to go. I'm going to be completely fine, and it was just the most amazing feeling in the world. So at this point, I was super excited, and I continued to press. So here we are, finishing our first ever half marathon. So 65:51 for 7th place overall. My favorite and best road race I've ever had, guys. And last mile was actually a 4:45, which was just one of those days that everything went perfect, and I was so happy. Thank you guys so much for just sticking with me through all these years of the ups and the downs. And here's the data if you want to check that out as well. But guys, again, plenty more of amazing stuff coming, and we might even have a new coach on our hands. I don't know.